Hey everybody. First off, I want to thank Tide We for paying for the show. If you need a pair of boots, a pair of waders, a new backpack, some hunting rain gear, look them up. They got some good stuff. When were you diagnosed with cancer?
Jesus, about 3 years old.
Yeah. You've been having a rough time.
I just turned 55 and I was 51 when I got it, so about 4 years now.
4 years, yeah. That
About 3.5
sounds more like it.
years.
So, I mean, you're cured now, aren't you? But you still got to take the chemo and all that stuff?
It's weird. She's put me in remission now. They say I'm not, but it's just something you just got to deal with. It's something they can't cure. It's just ongoing thing until whatever happens.
And for me, me and Dave for the last 30 years have been just like, really it's been like with my main hunting partner. And we used to run the swamps together and really just go into some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And all over the state chasing deer, and when Dave got cancer, it got really hard for him to hunt mobile, to climb trees and stuff, and you know, I set up some of my stands over here in really good spots, and then we leave them alone for Dave, but now he's finally getting to a point where I think you're getting, where you can get a little mobile.
Yeah, I'm getting
So we're going to get him set up with a mobile stand for next year, and
back to the good old days.
yeah, get back out there, and not going to let the C word affect him, push him to get it on. But it's just been bothering me that you haven't been able to really get onto deer the last few years.
It's just one of those.
And I'm getting them, I'm killing them, and I'm feeling guilty a little bit, you know. And 4 years ago, and probably before you even got diagnosed with cancer, a buck showed up on the farm. And what's amazing is every year that buck has been back, and he doesn't come back till rut. Now you've got some trail cam pics,
Yeah.
I've got trail cam pics. We'd see him, and it was funny because it was like he knew when we hunted. He'd come through in the middle of the day all the time. I had a couple run-ins with him, but he'd always bust me. You know, he'd get downwind or something. And that buck has been just consuming my dreams and stuff. We've got so much history with him.
Yeah.
And, you know, you think about it, he was mature 4 years ago. Last year he went by one of our trail cameras with blood running down his side and an arrow hole in his shoulder from an unknown hunter. But fortunately he survived. 2 nights ago I went out hunting and I snuck to my tree and I was hunting that buck in his area. And that's right where we found his shed antler last year. Pretty good rub sitting here. Holy crap, look at that. Oh! Oh. That's a good one. I think that's off the 10-pointer. Sure enough, but it's last year's. Holy crap. That's the buck we've really been hunting back here. Freaking awesome. And that's right where I had an interaction with him last year. He came in from downwind and busted me. And I got to the tree and I saw a buck 20 yards from me. And I'm like, I didn't know how I could have got in there in those dry leaves without the deer noticing me. But I think he thought I was a button buck that was walking around in there. And I could have, when I started climbing and I saw him, I could have hopped down and shot him. But I was like, I don't really want to kill anything off of film. I really want to get it on video. That's just my thing. I'm halfway up the stand and there's a 10-pointer walking past. Unbelievable. And I climb up this tree and I get the camera arm set up and I almost get an arrow in this thing and he gets out of sight. And I wanted to go right back after him the next day, figuring he's in the area, he's right there, but I didn't want to go past that front plot. So I hunt the front plot and that buck comes out that I shot and I shoot him. And I'm like, Dave, you got to get to the back and go after that buck. And you went back there and what happened?
Well, first of all, it was fortunately a very heavy wind day.
So what stand did you pick and why?
Well, just for the wind direction.
Right.
And it was only, you hunted once, right?
Yeah, I hunted once real early in the
Yeah,
season, yep.
And he said, you seen what, 6 does that night?
Yep.
I'm just like, well, they're bedding the corner, perfect.
In a-
It's
in a-
gotta, it's where to go.
And a big thing about that is, in spring scouting, I went in that corner bedding that's right by the stand you're in, and it was just full of those big rubs and stuff from that buck. So we're like, he's gotta be using this bedding area during rut. So everything coming together,
Yeah.
all the deer getting active, you're thinking, well, maybe he's gonna be there, it's about that time of year he shows up.
It's probably about an hour before dark. And I was getting frustrated because the wind was getting so bad. You know, trees bending over, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I look and I see just a big rack coming over the edge, and I'm just like, that's a shooter. There was no doubt in my mind. Just smoked a monster. I just, hang on, I'm just gotta catch my breath. No, I was sitting here, and I was sitting here. So then I grunted, then he came up there, they usually did, but he didn't come into the food plot, so I shot him like 40 yards in the thing. I seen the arrow hanging out, looked like I got him in the back of the lungs. All right?
Where'd he go?
He ran right down back over the hill. So,
I'll meet you up by the house.
Yeah.
We'll go after him.
no, I just want to get my crap and get out of here. But
All right. You have him filmed?
I had the camera on him, but I don't know. He didn't go into the food plot. I got him. I'm pretty sure I got him coming over the hill and walking over. But I grabbed the camera and turned it that way. I don't know, Dan. Yeah, I should have footage. I think he's a Big Ten, or I don't know. He's a nice buck. He might have been that buck you see.
That giant thing, 'cause I think he's just bedding over there.
I think it's the one you seen last night. But well, I want you to look at the footage and stuff. I'm getting out of here because I had a hard time getting into the stand, so I'm gonna try to.
Okay, I'll meet you at the house.
All right, I couldn't. All right, cool. Bye.
All right.
Took off that way, and the arrow was hanging him out like that, but I hit him right, I think, at the back of the lungs.
So you could be liver.
He could be. It's on this side and back, you know. So
How far back?
it's hard to tell. Because
As far back as I hit? Because I was barely in the
it
lungs.
looked like it was right in the back of the rib cage.
Okay. Well, we'll look. I mean, if there's lung blood, we'll keep going. If there's not, we
But he
will.
was running 100 miles an hour. It's like I said, I don't like shooting that far, but I'm like, he was perfectly.
Oh, 40 yards ain't that bad.
I just put it on top of his back and it dropped right in there, you know.
Okay.
But
All right. You seem pretty excited.
oh, that's
You're
awesome.
due, aren't you?
Well, I was due. Hopefully find him. I was just getting frustrated. But like I said, when I heard that buck You know, the one time it was almost like a roar. Do you ever hear him do that?
Yeah.
It was like, I'm like, what the hell? Because I had those sandhills flying over and it's so windy. I'm like, was that ears playing tricks on me? And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And all of a sudden, you see this big rat come over the top. I'm like, all right. And he's just walking, playing his day. But I wish you would have came into the food plot. But that's what they always do when we sit at the observation stand. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They come like that. They stop, and that's what he picked his head up. He's looking for no does, and then he was going to the next bedding area.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably going to come right up to the pipeline. You know.
Yep. Well, cool.
Oh,
Let's go find that thing.
well, like I said, it looked like it was back here. And the arrow, like I said, I'm only shooting 55 pounds, so I can't pull any more back.
Okay.
You know.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if it's liver blood, we'll back off.
He came out right there, over the hill, and walked.
That's got to be the buck that I saw
Yeah,
right over there
same
2
one.
days ago.
He sounded exactly what you described.
Okay.
You know.
Cool. Well, let's just see if we can pick up blood over there and find out if it's
Yeah.
lung blood, liver
Yeah.
blood, or you got guts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Blood here.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks dark, but it could be because it's dry. Let's look a little bit more. There's a chunk here. Now that definitely looks like liver blood.
Okay, well,
Yeah, look at there.
There's more there.
See how dark it is?
Yeah, okay.
So, I wouldn't doubt it if he's just in there a little ways. We need to back out.
Yeah, let's
So I'm gonna mark this spot.
Yeah, mark it with something.
Okay, we got, that's definitely liver blood. We need to mark this spot and we'll come back in the morning and look, because I think if we kick him, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, but I think you got him in the liver.
Yeah, okay, so how do we mark this?
This is what I'm looking at. So see how dark the blood is? And if you look, I just kept looking here for anything else, and here there's some drips of blood. See how dark that is?
Yes.
That's liver blood. And there's a good patch of it going in here on an angle that way. And there's bedding down here. So my feeling is that he is laying down there by the water.
Yeah.
And it's even possible we could bump him from here. So we need to back out and come back in the morning. So like plan?
Yeah, sounds like the plan to me.
Okay, let's do that.
We bump him and he's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now here's the mark.
Heading back home, I think Dave's gonna have a pretty sleepless night. I found blood about 200 yards from where he shot it, entering the woodlot, going down towards bedding and going down towards water. And the blood is definitely liver blood. Dark red. But for liver blood, if the deer was moving at any kind of speed, it's a lot of blood coming out. And the arrow was still in it when it hit the woods, so I'm hopeful that we'll find it tomorrow. Hopefully we didn't bump it tonight, but we didn't, you know, as soon as we found that blood and we determined it was liver blood, we backed off. So that's the right thing to do. I just hope coyotes or something don't get on it. Dave's really due. I mean, he hasn't gotten a buck in a while. Dave's a cancer survivor. He's on chemo and stuff. He has a hard time walking, hard time getting out there. And he used to hunt his butt off when we were younger. And it's hard to see him struggle a little bit. I'd really like to see him get success. So, I've got some plans for tomorrow with the wife. She's not going to be too happy with me, going to cancel them. But we need to get out there first thing in the morning, go after this thing. So I'll see you guys in the morning. So now back today, the blood is dried up and it's harder to see. But there's definitely a blood trail here on this trail going down in. So hopefully we can stay on it. Blood's hard to follow, but it's because it's really dark from the liver. But it looks like pretty good blood for a liver hit, especially when you only have an entrance wound. Look at this, where he dove through the air and hit this tree. That's a good sign. There's bedding down here, but he's still running. Hopefully he slowed down enough to bed down there. Oh, look at this, there's blood sprayed all over that tree. See that? Yep. Okay. This blood is really easy to miss because it's so dark from liver blood. We got to a point now where he's walking and he's bleeding pretty good, but he's going to start healing up pretty soon. It's really hard to see this blood when it drips on these leaves because they're the same color. But the fact that he's walking is good, but I kind of question he's going uphill and staying out of the swamp, so hopefully he finds a place to bed up here someplace close. At least we got a decent blood trail here now. So we're following the blood. And we're getting pretty disappointed because we're getting quite a ways from where that buck was, and Dave just saw something. What do you see?
I don't know, guy.
You say you don't think it's a deer.
I think it's a deer.
It's him. I can see a giant rack sticking up. This is
I can't
incredible.
see the rack. Oh no, I can see the rack.
Yeah, there's a big rack sticking up, dude. So here's what we see. He went down the hill here. He's laying right there. I can see him through the brush. Go ahead, Dave. Lead the way. Here, give me the tripod. Lead the way. You were due, dude. He looks big, dude. This is more exciting than when I got mine, dude.
I don't know.
Oh, is it a pig?
I told you, it's a big one. Oh my God.
Dude, that is the giant 10 we've been chasing for 4 years. That's the giant 10, dude. That's the one we've been chasing for 4 years.
Oh my.
That thing's got to be like 7 years old.
Fucking big body on him.
Oh man, that thing's got to be like 7 years old. Dude, I am so excited for you.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points.
Dude, that is the buck I've been dreaming about for years.
I know, I would have wanted you to kill him because you have been after it so.
Yeah, but this really pays back all the work you put in.
Okay.
Dude, I am so happy for you.
Oh my God.
Let's get a couple pictures to get him out of here.
Bigger than 140?
Oh, dude.
That's what I thought he was a 140.
Dude, that thing is 160s easy.
Yeah.
That is a huge buck.
He had the mass on him.
Dude, I'm glad. Remember last year he only grew 9 points?
Yeah.
I'm so glad he grew that last point.
He always had those on him.
Yeah. I got his other antler sitting down in the truck right now.
Yeah.
From last
We were
year.
playing with this. Remember this son of a bitch? Was that 2 or 3 years? I watched him get out of that bed right where
Nobody's going to believe us. But we got trail cameras going back 4 years of this thing, and he was mature 4 years ago. I got to send a tooth in or something.
Remember the last year? And, he came through, what, 15 minutes after we left or whatever.
Oh, man.
It was on a trail camera, I think. It was like maybe half an hour. But
So I'm standing here. I see Dave's arrow sticking out right here. Look at that. Can you flip them quick? Let's see where it went in. You said you thought you hit center? Flip them over once. Can you?
break my arrow. See? It's laid flat. That's right where I told you I hit him. Didn't I tell you where I thought I hit him?
Yep.
That's exactly where I hit him.
Right in the liver. That's what we thought.
And
Look at that. You don't have much penetration.
No, I told you. That's what I was worried about. The most thing I said, the arrow didn't go in there, but after all the bullshit, I turned my boat on at 55 pounds.
And I'll tell you what, this morning, that was a hell of a track. I mean, we went quite a ways.
Yeah.
And when he started going uphill, usually you don't see those liver-hit deer go uphill. I mean, there's water down low. And he went quite a ways, and then we had that southwest wind, and what did he do?
Yeah.
Also, you see that button hook, you know, where the trail just all of a sudden starts to button hook, and then Dave looks up and says, there he is.
Yeah.
And then I looked up, and all I could see was antlers.
All I could see was a big hinder, and I'm just like, look at the wreck. I couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, I couldn't see nothing
crap.
but antlers. I was excited. I mean, it was cool. And then I mean, we didn't get 2 more steps towards it, and I'm like, that's the Big 10. And in hindsight, that's the deer that I actually could have shot if I stepped off the steps and shot him. And really though,
Put your camera up, you would have drilled it.
that's the biggest buck we've ever got off this farm in 30 years, and I think you're deserving of that buck. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
all the time
Long
you
time
put in
coming.
and stuff. I mean, it's just, how amazing is this? I mean, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
Well, it's
I didn't
fun.
think we'd ever kill that buck. I thought he was gonna die of old
I-
age. I mean,
The way he acted and the camera pictures, and it'd be 12 o'clock in the afternoon he's coming through.
you think about how old that buck has to be. I mean, 4 years ago, he had the same size rack.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is he? You
Yeah,
know?
I got a bunch of pictures. You got pictures from years ago. And he's got stickers on him now this year.
Yeah. It does look like the G2s are a little shorter. I don't know, we'll have
Yeah,
to look
they
at
do.
some of the trail
Yeah,
cameras.
but-
But still, I mean, just a giant.
Yeah,
That thing's gotta be in the 160s.
Yeah, like I said.
And
Like
the mass on that thing. It's hard to see that in the picture, but those are Coke can bases, Coke cans on the
That's what I was
beams.
telling Rick. I said, I think he's about 140, and I just,
A little bigger than 140.
Yeah, bigger.
well, like I said, once I decided to shoot him, I never looked at his head again.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what you gotta do. You
I
gotta
just-
concentrate on getting
I'm
it
just-
done, once you know he's a
trying to get
shooter.
on the vitals, you know. I didn't even think it was that wide, but he's such a big deer, you know. I was
Yeah.
like, well, he's, what'd they say last night? He's about 15, 16.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, a little bit bigger than I thought, but
What an awesome couple days.
yeah, that was unbelievable.
Then we went over to, we asked Nate to come over and help us with this deer. And Nate just got back from hunting. And him, his brother, and his kid all shot bucks the last couple
Yeah.
days too. And Nate's buck was really big.
Yeah, he was a huge
Yeah.
buck. Jesus. Unbelievable. I never
It was a
seen
great,
never
it
seen
was a
like
great
this.
couple days.
Yeah,
They really been running around.
yeah, just hit it just exactly right, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're breeding yet, but I think they're just cruising, looking for the bedding to find them when they're ready to breed.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. That is an awesome buck.
Yeah, it's a long time coming.
Yeah, yeah, it is, yeah.
Congratulations.
That's see, you're gonna remember for a long time.
Yeah. Well, that buck is a special buck, and I mean,
Oh, yeah.
getting that buck, I mean, is really, really a special thing.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't realize it, like, until when you went up there and said, it's the 10, I'm like, 'cause like I said, I thought he might have been an 8-pointer, I know, like I said, I didn't look.
I've hunted a lot of bucks in my lifetime for multiple years. I've never hunted one that long.
Yeah, you have been after it.
It's
I was
amazing.
sort of hoping you were doing it to get him, but,
Yeah, I'm glad you got him. I really am. I mean, for us to get him on the farm, either one of us, is just such a great thing. I mean, this is such a small area, and he doesn't really live here. He comes here during the
Yeah.
rut.
yeah, he just shows up and like,
This farm is really, I mean, it really ain't much different than hunting a public, because it's so small. The only
Yeah.
thing we got going is we know nobody's been on here.
yeah.
But you
well,
got neighbor pressure, you know, it's,
Yeah, it's only 70 acres, but you gotta remember, this is a 15-acre hay field, it's another.
Yeah, it's
you know,
almost
I
all
guess-
grass.
You think
I mean,
about it, there's
yeah.
really not that much.
yeah,
to
we
hunt
got
on
very
this
little
property.
timber, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, doing the work we've been doing over the years, putting in plots,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just strategically putting stuff here and putting stands there helps a lot. you know?
And that's the thing. The years we didn't get food plots in,
Yeah,
this place would be like a ghost town.
yeah, it'd be, see a couple, you know, year-and-a-half-old bucks trotting
Yeah,
around.
and that's
just,
it.
You know, but it's just, like I said, you know, like we had permanent stands out there, but I still, like, you have to have the mobile setup. 'Cause
Every time we
it's-
get onto the big stuff, it's just moving around mobile. And then when we do get them out of permanents, it's by leaving those permanents alone and hunting them
Yeah.
once or twice.
You know, a lot of times, you could be, the permanent stand could be just 20 yards off,
Yeah.
you know, and you just need that, so you
That's a
just
big
throw-
part of making this farm better too, is getting your health up where you can be mobile again.
Yeah,
So we can go hunt in public and stuff, so you can get your fix with your
Yeah.
hunting without burning out the farm.
I know, the wife kept yelling at me, well, how come you're not hunting? I said, I gotta leave it alone, you know?
That's a bad problem to have. Your wife yelling at you, why aren't you hunting?
Well, you just drive her crazy, and she tells you to get out. Go on in.
Wish mine did that.
Well, that's a tactic I taught him. Drive your wife crazy
Yeah.
and she'll tell you to go hunt.
Yeah.
I hope she's not watching this.
Yeah, I hope my wife don't watch it either.
Look at this pig. The deer ain't bad either.
This video is dedicated to Dan Rudiger. Dan passed away the night that Dave shot his buck. Dan was a good friend of Dave's and a good friend of mine too. We've featured him on the show with turkey hunts. He's going to be missed.